For all the best boxing content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and punch that bell for notifications.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey, our next bout of the evening is your co-main event, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing for the NABO Welterweight Championship. Representing the NABO at ringside is the supervisor, Richard DeCure. Your judges scoring this championship bout at ringside are John Riley, Hilton Whitaker, and Lawrence Layton. Your referee in charge of the action is Harvey Dock. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks with the gold trim. He weighed in at 146 pounds. His professional record, 32 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, with 28 wins by way of knockout. Originally from Mazatlan, Sinaloa, Mexico, now fighting out of Santa Ana, California, here is Jose Luis Cruz. His opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks. He weighed in at 146 pounds. His professional record, he is undefeated. 17 wins, no losses, with 11 wins by way of knockout. He comes from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Here is Shamone, the Truth Alvarez. 12 rounds of boxing for the NABO Welterweight Championship.
Luis, come on. Okay, guys, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Remember, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch him up. Good luck.
And here are the numbers, Al.
We take a look at the tail of the tape. Not a little edge for Cruz in terms of height. They're the same age, and so some of the numbers very similar to Jose Alvarez, the undefeated fighter.
Fighting a tough guy tonight. Alvarez, incidentally, did not make any eye contact with Cruz when it came to the center of the ring for the referee's instructions. Harvey Dock, the referee. We're going 12 rounds. Round 1.
This will certainly be a litmus test for Alvarez, and for Cruz, this is a very important fight because these are the ones, for him to stay in the hunt, he needs to win.
Yeah, there's a lot of compelling stories in this fight, I think.
Now, Cruz doesn't throw the jab a lot. He said he uses it once in a while, but he's more of a power puncher that will just kind of wade in and put himself in position to throw those power punches. And there you see evidence of that.
Yes, a bull-like rush.
Well, that was on cue, wasn't it? Alvarez, much more of a stylist, obviously, will use the jab to set things up, and there's that nice right hook by Alvarez.
He's got power in both hands.
Right. There we go.
Alvarez cracking him on the break there.
Early in this fight, Shamone Alvarez getting involved in a little more, I think, of wild action on the inside than his corner would like. They want him to be a little more of a stylist from the outside, at least at the beginning of this fight.
Tell you one thing he does, Ali, he leads with his head, and I would think a real danger in this fight with a smaller man of a headbutt. Tough guy to fight, too.
Cruz is all elbows, all head, all shoulders. Once he's in front of you, he's a loadful.
Yeah.
Alvarez working the body there, and he does have a very good right hook on the inside, but on the inside, you can tell how strong Cruz is.
He slipped a nice little right hand in there on his way in. good body shots. One straight, a little bit low.
Right.
Alvarez, incidentally, has dedicated this fight to his friend Levander Johnson, who tragically passed away after being injured in the fight back in 2005. So we come to round number 2. Action first round.
Time. Ups.
Cruz has had a couple of punches stray a little bit low and did draw a warning from Harvey Dock.
You see the head coming in of Cruz first. You pointed that out, and Harvey Dock gives him a caution for it, a warning. The other thing that Shamone Alvarez sometimes does is reach with the left hand and then squares himself up a little bit, and that's a danger, certainly.
There's that head again coming in under the chin.
Head. Cabeza.
And there's Alvarez counter-punching as Cruz comes in. He's timed that rush by Cruz a little better. And when Cruz does rush in, I have to say, he comes in with his head straight up, so he should be hittable there.
Well, that's exactly what his corner was telling him between rounds.
And we talked about, you know, he was facing a left-hander in Alvarez, but Shamone Mitchell, who he fought 2 fights ago, a left-hander, he lost a 10-rounder to him, but so he's been in against some world-class left-handers. Cruz has. Good left hook downstairs. Cruz needs to double with the left hook. A great weapon against southpaws, and he has a good left hook, Cruz does, so when he throws it to the body, he needs to come up to the head with it.
He's doing the right thing in fighting a southpaw too. He's stepping to the left, and you don't see them stepping on each other's toes. That's always a sign of somebody who's inexperienced.
And there was a perfect example of it, Barry. He did step to the left and threw that left hook and landed it against Alvarez.
That one was low again.
Let him go.
You know, Cruz is putting himself in position to throw that punch, that hook, but not throwing it very well. And if he's going to win this fight, it's going to be by using that weapon much, much more than he is right now. See, there's that hook to the body by him when he got in position, and another one to the head. He's got to use that punch. He's got to be thinking of using that punch on a regular basis.
It's a very close round here.
Yep.
Could still be decided in the last 10 seconds.
Let's go. Seconds out.
Round number 3 now. Close fight, action fight, just about as advertised.
You know what was refreshing about Jose Luis Cruz when we talked to him, and he was asked about the Shane Mosley fight, and he just looked and said, you know what, I just lost.
Yeah.
That's it, I lost. I lost to a really good fighter. That is refreshing. And you know, that happens in life, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And this is a guy that's only got a couple of losses, and they were to the top guys, so.
There's that left hook downstairs by Cruz. Didn't come up with it, but up to the head.
Double left hand again by Alvarez.
Showing good hand speed, Shamone Alvarez is in there.
Oh, caught Cruz right on the way in.
Straight left hand, but Cruz undeterred.
Cruz is tough.
You know, Alvarez is going to need to be sharp to win throughout this fight to win it, because Cruz will keep coming. He'll keep the pressure up. Nice right by Cruz.
Yep.
And Shamone Alvarez is not going to have a lot of margin for error in this fight.
Yeah, Cruz has slipped that lead right hand in a couple of times. There it was again.
And, you know, part of the reason why he's now landing that is because he did start using that left hook to the body and the head. It opens up the right hand. Right-handers think they can just throw the right hand against the lefty unit. You have to mix in those other weapons.
Chopping left hand from Alvarez. Good right hand again by Cruz. That was a hook. He's showing the whole arsenal.
He is indeed. There was a left hook downstairs by Cruz. These are very close rounds. The last 2 rounds have been very, very tight. Again, there's that left hand downstairs by Cruz. Very important for him, and he is throwing that punch well.
I think that right hand has been a good weapon for him in this round. He's been very effective with it. Here's what you were talking about, Alvarez just squaring up. That's a slip.
Yeah, even though punches landed to the body, you can't call that a knockdown.
Let him go, let him go.
Now, you're going to hear the crowd react a lot more, needless to say, to Alvarez's punches than you will to Cruz's punches, so don't be fooled. There was another headbutt.
Yeah, and then a right hook by Alvarez. This has been a very, very close round, but Alvarez came on in the last minute or so. You know, this is, even though he lives in this area, Shamone Alvarez has never fought in this building before, and of course this building denotes bigger fights. And clearly this is the biggest one for him thus far in his career. Both men squaring up to each other, throwing wild shots.
Yeah.
The dangerous territory for both men.
And both have the ability to get the other out of there. Nice combination by Alvarez. Best of the fight.
Showing us the hand speed that we know he has.
Cruz is one of those guys, too, that even if you beat him, you don't look good doing it.
Yeah, absolutely, because he's in front of you. He's making it a little bit ugly for you, but still landing punches. Great left hook downstairs by Cruz. And that's one of those cases where you'd want to bring it up. Wow, nice shot by Alvarez.
Yeah, Alvarez doing a lot of damage when he's got Cruz outside.
Some nice subtle things being done by both fighters. Alvarez throwing good straight shots up the middle and Cruz working the body very well.
Two guys who came in here obviously very fit. Again, a nice combination. Alvarez just getting off quicker and not allowing Cruz to rush in this round.
Keep him up.
There was a way low blow.
Stop. Time.
They're going to take a point away here.
No, I actually think he's just going to.
You're right.
I think he's just going to give him some time.
Yeah,
And,
let's see. Maybe.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
You are
They
correct.
are.
Wow, that's interesting.
That one was way low. And
It was very low, but there had been no history of this earlier, but boy, that one strayed extraordinarily low. And Alvarez can have up to 5 minutes here.
And now this is, here again, you're in this situation where now I have Alvarez winning this round so far. That would make it a 10-8 round, and that's a big deal.
It is indeed, yeah. You know, Alvarez didn't take that much time to get himself straightened out, but presumably enough.
Hold him.
We have had some point deductions tonight.
Yes, we have. There's another low blow.
Get off his head.
You know what? The Cruz not shy about going back to the body, is he?
Absolutely.
Willing to live dangerously. And he has thrown good body punches. My only issue maybe with that is that was the first really low punch he's thrown. It was very low, make no mistake about it. But
Alvarez again, just a little bit quicker.
Nice right hook by Alvarez. And you're right, Barry. In this round, the hand speed of Alvarez has been a big factor.
Very good round for Alvarez, and the fact that a point was taken away from Cruz. So we come to round 5. Again, a quick left hand slipped in by Alvarez.
And you know, it's important when you see Alvarez. We talked about the checkered history of that left hand in terms of injuries. He said, no, it's fine now. And you know, the way he throws that punch, you get the feeling it is fine. The thing about Shamone Alvarez is he really knows who he is as a fighter. He knows he's got to give you a certain amount of movement, some angles, throw the combinations, and he's not going to stand right in front of you and trade the whole time.
Now, for a guy with only 17 fights, he's got a lot of savvy. He seems to know what he's doing in there, go in with a game plan, and so far he's executing the game plan pretty well.
Wealth of amateur experience,
right.
About 130 fights, which of course also assists in that idea. Keeps his hands up too well, especially when he's backing out of exchanges, and that's something a lot of fighters forget to do. Shamone Alvarez does. Cruz now, ooh, nice little uppercut by Alvarez. Cruz now, we're relatively early in this fight, but I'll tell you what, he needs to start making a few rounds go his way because of that 2-point deduction and or that 1-point deduction, which made a 2-point round. Also the fact that Alvarez has taken control of this fight a little bit.
Yes, he is.
Also, the other troubling sign for Cruz is he's not being as aggressive as he was. He's kind of back on his heels now.
A lot of his punches being caught on the gloves of Alvarez now. That was really well done by Alvarez. 3-4 punches. And then he got out of there once Cruz pressed it.
Cruz likes to throw the overhand right, but he hasn't thrown that punch as much in this fight as we would have anticipated.
Slipped an uppercut in there, did Cruz.
Cruz is a clubbing puncher. That's the best way to put it. His technique is sometimes lacking. Now, Michael Moore, by the way, one of the last left-handed heavyweights champions.
Right.
There haven't been hardly any left-handed heavyweight champions, and that's something that Bragimov tonight is hoping to do.
This is round 6 of a 12-round fight. That's a slip, I believe. I don't think that'll be a knockdown. Fighters, and we've seen this for so many years, but the painted portions of the ring, when perspiration gets on them, become slippery, and we've seen fighters get hurt.
Yeah, twist an ankle or have some other incident.
Let him go. Let him go.
Cruz doing a little holding on the inside as well. His technique Cruz's technique has degenerated a bit as his fight has gone on. He's not exactly a stylist to begin with.
No, I think that's true. Maybe a little bit of desperation. Alvarez is just very effective, scoring with a high percentage of punches. Outquicking his opponent.
And you know, you hit on it. You know, you really hit on it. Shamone Alvarez is in against a fighter in Cruz who it is very difficult to look as good as you'd like to. And yet, in spots, Shamone Alvarez has done a very, very good job. You can't even go to the bank in this fight on what you think Alvarez would do against other top fighters in his division, because Cruz is so difficult and awkward to fight.
And I think you're absolutely right. I think he does look very good in this fight, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, nice left hook downstairs by Cruz.
But again, a good job by Alvarez to get out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not allowed himself to be pushed against the rope. Alvarez hasn't, which is an important point.
Another good shot to the body by Cruz.
You know, Alvarez has sacrificed a little bit of power to land more punches in the last few rounds, and hasn't been a bad decision on his part.
Good right hand again. Alvarez just continuing to get off first, and it's just keeping Cruz enough off balance.
And enough of that movement that Alvarez is able to give him. You know, the welterweight division, one of the most intriguing in boxing right now. A lot of depth in that division, really a lot of really good fighters. And, you know, they're all going to be casting about those champions for somebody to fight in the next year or so, although a lot of the champions making noises to fight each other. But still, somebody like Alvarez, assuming he would get through a fight like this, would put himself in an interesting position in another fight or two.
I think so, too. And you'd like to see him step up and fight a guy like Cruz, who's been in there with some good fighters. In fact, the only guys he's lost to have been the top echelon of fighter.
Well, and that's why, you know, as he goes through this fight, Alvarez will want to compare how he did against Cruz to the way Shane Mosley or Shamone Mitchell performed, or Baldomir, who, of course, had a welterweight title and is still very much in the hunt for another title.
Now watch his head. Keep him up. Keep him up.
Division replete with good fighters like Antonio Margarito and Miguel Cotto, Joshua Clottey, who I think is a wild card in this division, a really, really good fighter. So there's lots of intriguing matchups out there for any welterweight moving up. Good work in this round by Alvarez to both the body and the head.
He's just not allowing Cruz to do what he wants to do. And now we're going to get a timeout.
Hey, that's the second time. Second time.
Another point deducted for a low blow.
Hey, that's the second time. Second time. Right. Ready?
I think by saying that, he means one more time, and he could stop the fight.
Well, we can say that the refereeing tonight has been hands-on.
Yes. That was a good choice of words. I like that. Thank you. Diplomatic choice of words.
My next position will be at the UN. I think that's frustration on Cruz's part.
I do too.
Oh, nice right, though. Wow.
Best punch of the fight by Cruz.
Right.
He's just trying to get Alvarez's goat here. Alvarez clips him with the right hand. Cruz wants a brawl. There's no question about it.
Now, if I'm Cruz, I'm not going to go to the body anytime soon. Don't even risk it. Good hook there by Cruz, but Alvarez comes back on the right hand. Now it's become a war.
And that's what Cruz wants. I think it's very important for Cruz to really stay on the gas here in this round. I mean, he cannot afford another 10-8 round against him.
Watch your head.
Another good right hand slipped in by Cruz.
Starting to get that punch in with some regularity.
Now the question is, has he done enough to win the round? So we come to round 8. And Cruz picking up where he left off here.
Yeah, you know, even though he's so far behind in this fight, and we're heading into later rounds, what Cruz is ending up doing now is turning it into a little more stylistically what he wants. And he's landed more big punches, Barry, I think, in the last 2 minutes than he has in the rest of the fight.
No, I agree. Now, I gave him that last round, so which would make it a 9-9 round. I think it could have gone either way, really. But if, in fact, the judges did see it the same way I did, makes it a little closer fight. Cruz continuing to work hard here. Another nice combination, 3-punch combination. Now Alvarez against the ropes. Alvarez is feeling the effect of some of these punches. And I thought, Alan, it started with that right hand right after the low blow.
Yeah, I agree. That was the punch that changed things a little bit. And you know what? Alvarez is in punching range for Cruz a lot more right now.
Cruz is starting to walk through Alvarez's leads, I think.
You know, Cruz is not big on technique. There's a lot left to be desired, but boy, he's a good clubbing puncher. You know, some of those punches on the inside have some pop to them.
This is probably the best round of the fight for Cruz.
Alvarez,
left hand.
He is staying right in front of Cruz, giving him the room to punch, and Cruz is doing it with both the uppercut and the left hook.
Now Alvarez with a left hand of his own. The uppercut was just a little short.
Cruz is getting in with those short punches on the inside. And one of those uppercuts is going to land and do some damage against Alvarez. He's close to making that happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would go anywhere quite yet.
Exactly.
Keep him up, Shamone. Keep him up.
Big round for Cruz. Another sharp right hand. Still a ways to go in this fight.
And you know, it's tactically changed. And there's a nice, good shots on the inside by Cruz. The right hand could have strayed low. He's got to be careful about that. But this is a whole different fight now. Now Alvarez getting hit more on the inside, not moving as much, not jabbing, not popping Cruz as he comes in. And the Cruz right hand, as you just pointed out, is really getting there. I think it's incumbent on Shamone Alvarez to really mount something here and to turn things around.
He's pushing a little more than his punches. Not suggesting that he's dead tired yet, but not quite the pop nor the accuracy that there was.
And he languishes on the inside longer now, does Alvarez, and that's when Cruz is able to land some good shots on the inside.
That was a good right hand by Alvarez.
And where's the body work gone by Alvarez? It was so effective early, and now nothing.
3 right hands, and that backs Alvarez up.
First time tonight Alvarez felt the power of Cruz. Now, there was a subtle shift in this fight before. Now it's a seismic one.
Almost another low blow again.
Well, if Cruz can undo it himself in any way, it'll be that way.
Time.
And now there was a headbutt, and Cruz is cut over the right eye.
clash of heads.
Shamone.
May get the doctor in here to look. I don't know. Going to look at that cut, and they are going to get the doctor up to look at it. Well, we talked about that right at the get-go.
We thought that was possible. Let's listen in and hear what happened.
You got time? Okay. But
Can't really tell exactly where that cut is.
Might be on the left eyebrow. It's hard to see.
Yeah, it could be.
Now Cruz continues with that assault, and his right hand's landing. Oh, there is. I think it's around the left eye.
Yes, it is. It's just hard to tell exactly where, whether it's in a place where it's going to get in to the eye or not. Again, that last right hand straight a little bit below the belt.
Now, if it came from a clash of heads, which we assume they are saying, that means if they had to go to the score, they would go to the scorecards if this fight was stopped.
Which, of course, we feel would be to Alvarez's advantage.
At this juncture, probably still, despite the Cruz comeback. Oh, those Cruz right hands are getting in.
Yep.
Cut is worsening a little bit around the eye of Cruz.
Now they're going to have some serious work to do. Sharp right hand from Alvarez, but he took 3 to get that one in.
John, headbutt.
And you can see that cut is actually above the eye, more toward the bridge of the nose. So at least you would think it's not in a place where it could really cause him serious damage.
Now here we are heading into a juncture in the fight where there's been a pretty good comeback mounted by Jose Luis Cruz. And the tenor of this fight has changed so much, I think, that you now have to look at this fight as one that Cruz could certainly come back and win.
Absolutely, because remember we talked about how close the early rounds were. So a lot of it will depend on how the judges saw those early rounds. And then that one pivotal round where a point was deducted.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Cruz is ripping shots to both the body and the head. Shamone Alvarez trying to box effectively, but not doing it as well as he did earlier in the fight. Alvarez needs to get back to landing that straight left hand as Cruz is coming in. He's just not been able to do that effectively in the last few rounds.
That was a good right hand by Alvarez.
Yeah, one of his best right hooks. And another one as Cruz was coming in. So again, the counterpunching very effective.
Uppercut and a right hand, which was a little short by Cruz.
And a jab by Cruz. I think that was the first one we've seen since round 2.
So he's 1 for 1.
Actually, I think it's the first one since the Kennedy administration for him. Oh, wait, he was barely born then. Wasn't even born.
Cruz's punches right at the moment don't seem to have quite the zip that they had earlier either.
And if I'm Cruz, I've got to be honest, I'm going to be very careful of how I go to the body. Mostly I wouldn't throw too many right hands because those are the ones that stray low for him. The hooks tend to stay above the belt line. The last thing he wants is to be disqualified.
This is a better round for Alvarez.
Yep. He's doing a better job on the inside. And there was another right hook at the punctuating that exchange.
Hands are free.
And Cruz going to have to do some business here because I don't think he can afford to give any rounds away.
Yeah, the early part of this fight certainly probably in the favor of Alvarez. And this round, a pivotal one, because if Alvarez is winning it, that means he has gotten a little momentum back. Cruz is not exactly the kind of fighter you're going to use as an example to youngsters on technique.
No.
He is dogged in his determination.
I'm not sure he won that round.
Close.
So we come to round 11.
Building excitement as we head toward our heavyweight championship fight. Sultan Ibragimov and Shannon Briggs in this fight. Shannon Briggs in this fight starting to create a little excitement as well.
It's been an action fight, but a very good fight.
Alvarez with combinations, starting at the body and coming to the head. We haven't seen that for 4 or 5 rounds.
No, I think he's found another gear.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Here on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, and big thanks to our hosts, Caesars Atlantic City.
Great hospitality, and of course they've helped turn this event into something very special.
Let him go.
There's crowd on hand here at the Boardwalk Hall enjoying this and looking forward to the heavyweight championship fight still to come.
Let him go. Hands are free.
This round, one in which Alvarez has thrown more punches than he did recently. And there's another warning for a low blow to Cruz. The movement of Alvarez has also been a key in this round. He punches, then he moves. And he wasn't doing that for about 3 rounds.
Yeah, this round, and he started to do that in the last round, too. I think he's frustrating Cruz a little bit now.
I think boxing matches that have these ebbs and flows, to me, are so interesting. This is what makes the sport really an interesting sport. You can see somebody like Cruz coming on for 3 or 4 rounds and say, oh my goodness, how is the other fighter ever going to stop that onslaught? Yet he does.
And now he's the one that's administering the damage. And as we say that, of course, Cruz hits him with the right hand. A lot of those are missing. Either being caught in the gloves or whistling by the ear. Alvarez's punches are sharper.
Let him go.
The diversity of attack for Alvarez in this round has been much better than in even the last couple rounds, though he probably won the last round as well.
And I think Cruz is starting to feel it a little bit. I sense that he's wearing down a little.
But
you know,
minutes left in this one.
Every athlete has moments in their career that they look back on. And I think that 10th round and 11th round, Shamone Alvarez in trouble found another gear and really showed his mettle, because he's an undefeated fighter on the precipice of maybe big things, and it was slipping away from him, and he brought it back.
Absolutely he did. And it's Alvarez who's dishing it out here. I thought he fought a very solid fight, because as you said, he changed up a couple of times in this fight. You know, he did one thing early on, then another thing in the middle rounds. Then when he really had to gather himself, he did.
Yeah, at a moment when it looked like tactically the fight was shifting very much in Cruz's favor, but he brought it back. Now we'll see what this round brings, but so far Alvarez has been effective here as well. And for Jose Luis Cruz, we think he may be headed toward yet another decision loss that he will look back on and say, oh, I lost to another pretty good fighter by decision, but, you know, I wish I could do some things over again.
And as we said earlier, he's a very tough guy to look good against, and yet I feel that Shamone Alvarez has done just that. I thought he's looked very good.
You know, Jose Luis Cruz, with some improved technique, could really be a load for. It might be too late in his career for all that at this juncture. But it would make a big difference for him if he could throw his punches more effectively. At age 30, it's doubtful that's going to happen.
And a jab is a concept.
It would help a bit, yeah.
Alvarez finishing this thing with a flourish here.
It's turned out to be a very entertaining and interesting fight. It really did.
And a coming-of-age fight, I think, for a young guy out of Atlantic City here, who I think has got a very bright future. I think it's all laid out in front of him here.
Yeah, and he recognizes that at age 30, with that extensive amateur career, and then these 18-some pro fights, he's at the stage now where he needs to make a move. And he hopes that this win might, he said, that could slingshot in the head, and then he could get catapulted into the future.
That's exactly right.
Sounds like a Renaissance fair.
Well, I think it says something about he and his management team taking this fight in the first place, because you know this is a quantum step up in caliber of opponent, and this is a guy that could have beat him.
And for a while, it looked like he was headed in that direction. Now we're assuming Shamone Alvarez has done enough to win this decision. We may be proven wrong by the judges, but that's the way we see it.
Well, I thought he won the last 3 rounds after being in some danger. We'll see how the judges see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey, after 12 rounds of championship boxing, we go to the scorecards. Judge Lawrence Layton scores about 116-110. Judge Hilton Whitaker scores about 119-108. And Judge John Riley scores about 117-109 for the winner by unanimous decision, the new NABO welterweight champion, Shamone the Truth Alvarez.
Well, the first belt for young Shamone. Actually, he's not young, but young in box speak. And you have an idea he might be able to add to that belt collection.
Yeah, very good performance by him, and he showed his mettle in coming back to win this.
Showed his mettle against a very, very tough guy in Jose Luis Cruz.